Hey everybody, Billy Bob here. It's Monday, and that means it's Monday morning quarterback with Billy Bob. Just got off the bike, did a little riding here before I head north, heading to Tampa to see Mama Bob here for the holiday. But I figured let's not delay this till Tuesday. That's Christmas Eve. Got stuff going on. So here we go. I'm sure everybody wants to know, first of all, oh, Billy Bob, what's your impression of the Ohio State game? Well, I hope it's like everybody else. It was awesome. I mean, what the heck? The offense did their job. The defense did their job. The coaching staff did their job. The fans did their job. Forget about all the orange in the stands. I think that's overblown. Look, there were a lot of fans there. Okay, let's say they're 30,000, right? Well, that means there were 70-some thousand Ohio State fans there. Okay? Orange stands out, maybe even makes it look better. We'll talk about their fans in a minute. Let's talk about the game here. Amazing. The offensive line, no sacks. The defensive line, 4 sacks. They held Tennessee to under 200 yards total offense until the last series when we had our second, third string guys in. They got over 200 yards. I think they got 250 total yards offense. Conversely, the Buckeyes had 317 passing and 156 running the ball. So Will Howard, unbelievably accurate, 24 of 29, 311 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had the 1 pick in the end zone there. We could go back and forth whether it was or it wasn't, but, on the field it was. So there you go. Running, nice balance. Henderson, 10 carries, 80 yards. Will had 37 yards. Judkins had 34. Ran the ball, good overall balance. You'd be surprised. You think, wow, we passed the ball. And I think the reason the pass sticks out in your mind is that we led with the passing attack, and then that opened up the running attack. But we actually ran the ball 2 more times than we threw the ball. We threw the ball 31 times, and we ran the ball 33 times. Okay? So some of that was maybe at the end, where we're running it out, but regardless. And then you take a look at Tennessee, a very talented young quarterback, young being the operative word, Nico Iamaleava, and 100 yards. We kept him 14 out of 31, 100 yards passing, 104 yards, 4 sacks. Now, this kid's tough, all right, and pretty elusive overall. 20 carries, 47 yards. That 47 yards is net because you have to take out his sack yardage. That's what they do in college football. But he ran the ball 20 times. I bet of the 30 times he threw the ball, he got hit 7 or 8 times. But this guy took a beating. I mean, a beating. It had to affect his overall play at some point. But he kept going and going. And, their star running back, before the game, I alluded to 264 carries on the year. Got to be some wear and tear on him. Meantime, he had, I don't know if he did it in the game or in warm-ups or whatever, but apparently he tweaked a hamstring and only carried the ball 2 times for 6 yards. Now, I think he did catch a pass as well, but look, Tennessee made a big deal out of how prepared they would be in the weather, right? Oh, we practice in the morning when it's really cold down here in Knoxville. And then they came out, cool stunt. They came out shirtless, and they were doing stretching their arms with their bands. Well, what the hell they should have been stretching was their legs, because not only did Dylan Sampson tweak his hamstring, but Deshaun Bishop, the backup running back, when you saw him get hurt, I don't know if it was second quarter, early third quarter, but he was walking like he tweaked a hammy too. And then you see all these guys going down for UT. Now, I don't know if some of them on the defense were going down to try and slow us down or not, but, they were going down. Offensive guys and defensive. But when the defensive guys went down, I was like, is he really hurt, or is he just trying to slow the game down and get some air? Okay, here's another thing we heard about UT. We heard about their defensive line, right? How tough their defensive line was. They had 10 or 12 guys. They rotate them in. They're going to be fresh the whole game, right? Remember what I said? 0 sacks, all them fresh guys that weren't very fresh. If you watch the game, pay attention, or I hope you paid attention. If you didn't, go back and watch it. Pay attention to their D-line. Those guys, for the most part, all game, were sucking air, baby. They were gassed, hands on hips. Even later in the first quarter, when we should have actually gone up 28-0, but they were gassed. There was actually even one play, one of the big dudes, I think the guy's like 340 pounds or something. Buckeyes are still in the huddle, and this guy's over there. He's breathing hard. All of a sudden, you see, like, he's waving. I gotta go. I gotta get out. And he took off for the sideline, get out of the game. So, crazy enough, makeshift, revamped offensive line that really took on a quote-unquote veteran and deep Tennessee defensive line, and they smoked them. Old Smokey got smoked, and they wore their ass out. Plain and simple. By the way, Buckeyes only had 3 penalties in the whole game. So, and I don't know that any of them were on the offensive line. But that's enough about that. Penn State, they put a whooping on SMU. I wonder how that game might have changed if Kevin Jennings at the beginning of the game, for those of you that didn't see it, they had a 4th and 1 inside the 10, I believe it was. Penn State territory, 4th and 1. They went for it, roll out to the right. Kevin Jennings, he had the first down. He would have had it by at least a yard, if not a couple, 3 yards. Instead, he chose to pass over the top. Tight end drops the ball. Penn State gets the ball. And then Jennings proceeds to throw 2 pick sixes in the first quarter. Penn State up 14-0. So Drew Aller had a nice game. He didn't have a great game. He didn't have to have a great game because they beat him up. But, he was 13 out of 22 for 127 yards passing. So Penn State wins 38-10. Their quarterback has 128 yards passing. Now they had 189 yards rushing, but it's not like they had 300 yards rushing. So, but they did a nice job. And they blew them out. So, they advance. That's what's important. Another guy that didn't have a great game, but he had a serviceable game, was Quinn Ewers. 17 out of 24, 200 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Interception maybe wasn't his fault, but you know what? It's an interception. Conversely, the Clemson quarterback, Cade Klubnik, 26 out of 43 for 336 yards. They almost, Clemson tried. They were the little choo-choo that tried, but was it Jaden Blue with the 77-yard run there at the end of the game, and that kind of sealed it, put it back up to a 14-point lead because Clemson got it within 7. And then, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this because my buddy Phil's probably going to be watching this, and big Notre Dame fan. So, hey, Notre Dame, great game. They were up, 27-3 when they probably shouldn't have pulled their starters quite when they did. Let IU kind of try and sneak back into that game. They never got back into it, but Riley Leonard, again, they were balanced. Leonard, 23 out of 32, 200 yards passing. But again, 1 touchdown, 1 INT, but it was their running game and their defense, really, that stepped up. And 35 carries, 193 yards, average 5.5 yards a carry. Jeremiah Love with that big run, 98. Out of their 193 yards, 98 of them were on one play. where they got the ball at the 2-yard line, and he just blew it wide open and is gone. So, that's college football. Had a lot of good games in the pros yesterday. A lot of close games. I don't even know do I have it right here? Let's see. I don't even know if I have it. Thought I had it. There we go. Here we go. Falcons smoked the Giants. Giants 2-13. Does Brian Daboll make it a Daboll, whatever? Does he make it another season, or is he done? Falcons blow them out. They actually retake first place in the NFC South. That's coupled with a Buccaneers loss by 2 to the Cowboys. So the Falcons first place. They both have 8-7 records, but the tie goes to the Falcons because they've beaten the Buccaneers twice this year. Lions got back on track. Of course, they're playing the Bears. So the Bengals stayed in the playoff hunt after beating the hapless Cleveland Browns. I mean, we put in a backup quarterback because our starting quarterback threw 3 interceptions and our backup quarterback throws 3 interceptions. And, of course, we're without, Chubb, but could have been a better game than that. The Bengals, look at it, the Bengals do not have a very good defense, all right? That's why they're 7-8. If they had a good defense, they'd probably be 9-7 or 9-6, whatever it is at this point. And but they don't. But yet they held the Browns to 6 points. That actually was a touchdown and missed extra point by Dustin Hopkins. And oh, by the way, we gifted the Bengals Cade York because he couldn't make a frickin' field goal in Cleveland. So, he made one, missed one for the Bengals. So he proceeded to show his true stripes as a Bengal. And that Rams-Jets game was pretty good, actually. The Jets, it was 19-9, it was the final, but the Jets kept trying and trying to stay in that game, and it just never happened. Eagles-Commanders with a Jaden Daniels with a big play with 30 seconds ago in the game or something like that. Cardinals-Panthers went to overtime. Panthers beat the Cardinals. It's kind of a blow to the Cardinals because they were, they're in the playoff hunt, but now they're 7-8. I don't know where that puts them, but getting beat by a 4-11 team is previously as a 3-11 team. Vikings-Seahawks, that was a great game to watch. Bills-Patriots, great game to watch. And now, when I say watching, I wasn't watching it the whole game of every one of them. I was watching some games on one TV, NFL Red Zone on the other. So, the Niners, how far are they falling? They're 6-9. Get pounded by the Dolphins 29-17. And I told you about the Buccaneers. So that's pretty much Monday morning scoreboard. Monday morning quarterback with Billy Bob. I'm looking at NFL scoreboard here, and I'm talking to you. And so, hey, if I don't see you or you don't see me, I hope you have a great Christmas Eve and a great Christmas. Be safe, drive safe, enjoy your friends and family. And if I don't talk to you tomorrow, most likely I'll talk to you on Christmas Day. Until then, America, land of the free because of the brave. Stay focused, America. Billy Bob, peace.